you, and now it's coming down to 110, and then what we want to do is try and get that heart rate below 100 before we start you moving, so it tails off that lightly. 2 more levels down, so right down to level 2, and then just again keep that 60 or so, just really light as you're cooling down. So you've done what's known as the CV curve workout. So you've warmed up gradually, at least 5 minutes. We did 7 or 8 minutes, didn't we? Just to tweak it properly. We got you quite high, but it was your normal level. And you worked 40 minutes. And you worked at the level that you're used to, and that was a good workout for you. Then we started, the final section was the gradual cool down, and we've done that for coming up to 5 minutes now, which is the time that you need to reduce your heart rate down to below 100. Now, it's important to do that gradually. The body likes that better, the heart likes it better, and it's better in terms of your recovery. So being a regular exerciser, you'll feel more recovered and be able to exercise better when you come to do it again, just by taking a few extra minutes to come down. So down 1 more level, really slow. We're coming up to just past 5 minutes. We're going to just tailor it down really lightly, and I think then I need to get you a towel, but you're doing well. I thought you followed those instructions really well, and you did everything. You seemed to get the idea of the gradualness, and then the maintenance, and then the gradual cool down. How do you feel that went for you? Feel good? Okay. We're going to do the same scenario now, teaching of the CV workout, but Paul is now going to role play a novice client, because the words and the language is slightly different for a novice client. So Paul, I hope you can bear with me on this one. I want you to imagine that you are older and not currently doing aerobic exercise. So we're going to be going up to a much lower level, and perhaps getting you up to maybe a 9 or probably a 10 on the middle bit. Okay, so I'll try and explain things as we go along. So I've demonstrated the bike, and I've got you on there, and make sure you're happy on there. So hands on, ready to start, and I'm going to ask you to start to pedal. And this is a CV workout. I know that you've not done an exercise recently, but you're going to have a go. It's going to be tailored for your level, so it's not going to be anything that you can't do easily. Press the button there, quick start, which actually gets the machine working, and it gives us a timer. So we're going to time you your session, and you can make the exercise more difficult by pressing this button here, which we'll do in a minute. At the moment you're at level 1. I think there's about 20 or 25 levels, but we're going to be going up to sort of 3s and 4s perhaps, and I want you to tell me how hard the exercise feels, and be honest all the time. So at the moment it should feel fairly light. I'm going to ask you to slow the speed of your pedaling down just slightly for me right now. Let me zoom in off anywhere, because it's a gradual warm-up that we're doing now. So keep in the 50s or just early 60s just for now, and that's your revolutions per minute there. So during the exercise, I'm going to ask you to rate, using the scale over there, which you can see from 6 to 20, I want you to rate how hard you feel the exercise is overall. Now 6 would be the same as you sitting down in a chair, doing nothing, and 20 is you're completely exhausted and can't carry on. We're not going to get that far, but I just want you to give me an idea of how it feels. How would you say this feels right now? Okay, so we're not resting, we're doing something, and we've started you on a gradual warm-up. I'm going to ask you now, just check your posture, make sure everything's fine there. Yeah, you're doing that really well. Keep your head and neck up straight, and your body good and neutral. Keep your hands on there, just put a bit of support on your hands. With one hand, I want you to press that button there, up arrow, 1 time, and you'll hear it beep, and that gives you level 2. So that has made that pedal resistance more difficult. Do you feel it? A bit. Fine. Now I want to find out what that has done to your overall effort in a minute, okay? I want you to maintain 65 now, so it's just slightly above the 60 that you were doing. That's good. It will jump about a bit, that's fine. I'm going to keep my eye on your heart rate to make sure it goes up normally, and that's absolutely fine for now. Heart rate's gradually building up, and that's fine. So what this is, this workout is cardiovascular workout, aerobic workout, which you said earlier that you wanted to keep fit and you wanted to keep your heart fit, so this is what will help with that. And the first at least 5 minutes of the workout has to be a gradual warm-up, which is what we're doing now. We're going to gradually increase it. How would you say you are with the numbers now? 6 to 20? 9, that's fine. Could you pedal harder than this?
Yes.
Yes. One more level then. Let's see what 3 does for your overall effort. Now, the exercise in itself should feel like you're doing some work, but you're not working too hard. You should feel warmer, a little bit breathing more deeply, but definitely not out of breath. You should feel as though you could maintain it for quite a few minutes, maybe 5, even 10 minutes. Obviously taking into account the legs, how they're feeling, because that's important as well. So, you know, obviously keep me informed about that. This exercise now at level 3 and 60 or 65 here on the speed, 6 to 20, how would that make you feel now? 10. Now, would you be happy to work harder than 10 or not?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. So in a minute or so, I'm going to ask you to increase the level, but not sooner than that, because I want the warm-up to last at least 5 minutes. That's one of the most important things, is that a warm-up to cardiovascular training is extended. It's always at least 5 minutes. So we've done 4. I'm going to ask you to try and maintain. Are you happier at 60, or are you happy? What do you feel there?
Happy at this level.
Yeah, well, let's keep 60 then, because everyone's different, that's fine. Keep you at 60 and we'll increase the intensity. Now, you know what these do a little bit more now. If I was to increase 1 more, is that going to be hard enough? Or would you say, oh, I want another one as well? What would your feeling be?
Maybe that'd be hard enough.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. So we're coming up to 5 minutes. So I'm not going to increase that until we've done the full 5-minute warm-up. Okay, it's important not to get up to the level that you're going to be exercising at too soon. Yeah, so we've gradually built you up from 1 to 2 to 3, and then we're going to go up to 4 now. Okay, so that's 5 minutes. That's level 4. I want to double check that level 4 is going to be okay. Do you think? Yeah. How long would you be able to maintain at this level 4? Could you maintain 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Could you maintain 10 minutes? Maybe. Okay. Well, let's see. Because as the time goes on, we're now in what's called the main section of your workout. As time goes on, you might change your mind and think, well, I don't only want to do 3 minutes, or I only want to do 4 minutes. So we'll see, because obviously your legs are going to start to fatigue a bit. We've got to keep everything into account. Let's see how we go. We're coming up to 45 seconds in the main section. We started the main section at 5 minutes, and the first 5 minutes was the warm-up. So we're now trying to maintain a workout level for you. And you say that you feel as though this is maintainable, perhaps 5 minutes, not sure about 10. What would your number be now from 6 to 20? Now we've started to be constant in our intensity.
Maybe 11 or 12.
Okay. Is 11 or 12 too much for you?
It's probably just about right.
Yeah, okay, well, let's keep our eye on that, because again, as the minutes tick by, let's say 11 to 12. I mean, that's a good workout level. Yeah, I mean, that's quite normal. And your heart rate is what we would expect. It's 130, which is right for your age. And we really go on your perception. And I'm looking at you. You look how you're supposed to look. Your breathing's a little deeper. You're still chatting and you can talk. You're not out of breath. You're saying you're feeling it's reasonably comfortable. Is it still reasonably comfortable?
Yeah.
Do you feel as though it's doing some good? Do you feel as though this is a workout for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. good. So 11, 12 is your level for your workout. That's fine. So we're coming up to 2 minutes. Because this is an exam, the assessor is going to say we can't hang around here all day. So I'm going to now reduce you down. So imagine we did our 5 minutes, and that's the point that we decided to cool down. We're going to cool down then now, so I'm going to ask you to just drop the revs just under 60 and drop the levels by 2. And that's down to level 2 from 4. Now what we have to do now is spend at least 5 minutes reducing it back down. So we've got you up to 11 or 12 on the effort for that middle section, and you did 5 minutes. So that was what you set out to do, so that's really good. And we're going to spend the next 5 minutes cooling down gradually from that, using lower levels. We did 2, and then we're going to do the other 2 down, and we're going to go drop that down to lower 50s again in a bit. Keep breathing, keep your posture good, that's really good. Head looking forward and straight, with a little bit of support on the hands, that's fine. Your heart rate's reducing now, so it's come down from your middle section, which is about 130, and it's dropping down to about 120. So do you feel that you've warmed up gradually?
Yeah.
At the beginning?
I feel as though I've worked out.
Yeah, so you worked out in the middle. You did your 5 minutes at a level that was quite taxing, you know, a workout level for you, although you were happy with it, hopefully. And then we started to cool down. So we've done a couple of minutes of the cool down, and it's a gradually reduced cool down. So we went down from 4, and we're now at level 2, and we're down in the high 50s here, so that's right. So we're reducing that down gradually. Let's bring that down to the mid 50s, so 55 on there, and reduce that down. So what happens with this is you always keep your beginning and your end bit at least 5 minutes long. Your gradual warm up and your gradual cool down at least 5 minutes. Could be a bit more, but your middle bit, you did 5 minutes today, gets increased. The level doesn't necessarily get increased yet over the first few weeks, but we increase the time that you spend at that level. So you remember when I said to you, could you do 10 minutes? And you were like, I'm not sure. And at 5 minutes you didn't want to go on any further. That's fine. In the future, you're going to be able to do 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, you know, up to 10, 15 minutes in the middle there, gradually, and we'll work together on that. But your warm up and cool down will always be the 5 minutes or so at the beginning and end. Okay? So that's how you would perform a workout on a cardiovascular machine. So you can choose the bike, we can try walking on the treadmill, you could do hill walking on the treadmill. I know you said you didn't fancy the rowing machine, so we'll steer clear of that one, but there's other machines that you could look at, cross trainers that use arms and legs, other different bikes that you can use. So we can try this same principle out on different machines. Let's go down to level 1. So this is the end part of the cool down. What would you say your number is on 6 to 20 now? Okay, so we're back down to normal. Sort of how you were at the beginning nearly, before you started. And this is good, your heart rate is coming down. It's down to 110, which is fine. And we're going to just make sure that that heart rate is below 100 before we stop. So what I'm going to say is slow the revs right down for this last 30 seconds or so. Down to 50. We're on level 1. We just need to cool that right down like this. Really important. It helps the body recover, helps you to be, hopefully you won't be sore in the muscles, but it helps with that, and it helps you to your body to adapt to the exercise. So warming up and cooling. There's your tissue there. And we'll got your water in a minute. We'll get you some water. So do you feel as though you've learnt the principles of warming up and maintaining the middle section and cooling down? And if I stood here and talked less next time, would that be alright? You'd be able to sort of lead it a bit more? I can help you, but do you feel alright with that? Yeah, okay, good. I think you've done that really well. And you can bring it down to a stop now. Well done. So now I'm going to teach the client the first resistance machine, and this is going to be the leg press machine. First of all, Paul, what I'm going to just show you is the way that the weights are changed here. What we have to do is obviously bend down to change the weight, make sure that the weight is fully in and there's a magnet on it so it stays in there, and then this weight at the top you can twist round. Just make sure we're on zeros for now, but we'll talk about that later. Just have a little go at that for me. Just bend the knees down and just reach across. Yeah, so you put it wherever you like. Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to say is that with the weight training for today, we're going to be using very light weights. We call them teaching weights because we're going to learn to perfect the technique, learn the technique first, and then in future sessions we'll start to increase the weight to make it a workout for you. So they will be a bit light for you, yeah? Okay? So I'll just show you this first. This is called leg press. What it does, it uses the big muscles at the front of the leg and the back of the hip, your bottom, and a little bit on the back of the leg there, okay? And for me, I'm going to choose that lightweight there, 15 and then 0. The exercise itself is governed by how far you've got your seat forward, okay? And the seat back, you can press forward and back, you change the seat distance, okay? Here, you've got your numbers, so that's number 5. So if I was on number 5, for my position to start, actually need to be a bit closer to the bench. My starting position should be 90 degrees, so I'm going to go slightly further down. So I'm going to keep my feet on the platform, I'm going to lift the handle and just drop it forward slightly. Is that number 4 now on there? 3 now. I'm going to go back to 4. See, that clicked in. That's 4. I'll trust you on that one. Okay, but what that does is that gives me a 90 degree angle here to start. And what we want to have is the feet at the top of the platform, but also have the knee directly above the ankle. So there's a bit of fiddling around to set this one up, and we'll set it up for you, and your seat will be further back, so that will be a higher number. Going back, yeah. So I've got 90 degrees here, hands on there. I'm not going to put my head back because that takes my neck out of alignment, okay? So the action is pressing to an almost straight leg and then down. I'll just show you a couple overview. So, to an almost straight leg and then back down to your 90 degrees. Try not to touch the weight down in between. Slow and controlled at all times. Probably slower than you might be used to. Breathing all the time. And then you're looking from the side, you can see my 90 degrees just there. So come a little bit closer in, that's it. So almost straight there, but not quite. Slow and controlled. Feet facing forward, knees following the toes. Straight forward. Head looking forward, not down and not tipped back, so good posture. Trying to stay in the back of the seat here. Try not to slip forward on the seat. I'll check you from the side on that though. I'm going to do about 8 to 12 repetitions, but again a lightweight just to learn this technique for today. And then lower it down to finish nice and slow. Off the machine, just drop the feet and then obviously make sure you're off okay. Are you happy to try that? Now you've seen it, yeah? So let's get you on the seat. And then I'm going to say, first of all, to pull your handle up and just push back. That's fine. I should have said to you then, keep your feet. You were fine, but I should have said make sure you put the weight on your feet, and you did it. So apologies for that. But keep your feet flat when you change the seat height. Let's put your feet up there. What I want you to do is shuffle back into the seat with your bottom. Just shuffle back so that you're nice and flat. That's fine. Really good. Now, again, you need to do this properly. Keep your weight on your feet, And let's lift the handle, and you're going to lower yourself down very slightly. Let's get this 90 degree. Stop there. And I want you to put your feet slightly higher up for me. And I want you to keep your feet parallel. So your feet are facing forward, your knees are facing forward. That's a good neck position. That's great. You've got a good posture. You've not slipped forward on the seat. I'm going to say, you're on number 8. I'm going to say, let's go down one more. So let's go forward slightly, click. So that's 6. Now, it looks fine. Do you feel a bit cramped, or do you feel okay? Fine. So that's 90 degrees. That's fine. So you're number 6. Again, keep your feet parallel. So just bring those heels out slightly. That's great. Okay. So again, it's going to be a lightweight. What I want you to do is straighten the legs, slow and controlled. So off you go. So straighten them to there, but don't actually lock them. That's fine. And then come back down. So a smooth movement. Let's hear when it touches down, and we stop just before that position. So straighten the legs again. Almost straight, not locked. That's fine. And then back down again. That's good. Keep going at that. It's really good. Nice and slow and controlled. You've got a good posture. You can see that you're keeping your bottom right back in the seat. You've got a good neck position. You're breathing constantly. You've got your knees directly over your ankles when they're bent. That's fine. And you've got your toes and your knees pointing in the same direction. Okay. You've got a good speed. It's slow and controlled. And you've got your almost straight position there, which is fine. And you come back to your 90, and you're not letting the weight touch down in between. So keep going. A couple more repetitions just to learn this technique. Try to keep it slow and controlled and a fluid movement, rather than don't stop at the top and the bottom. Just keep it going up and then straight back down, but don't speed it up. A couple more just to perfect that. That's really good. Keep it slow. It's hard when it's light almost, isn't it? You're doing that really well. And then last one down to the end. Gently down, feet on the platform, and then you can turn out. Now, if you just face me here, I think you did that really well. And do you think you could do that again with less help from me next time? Do you feel it went well?
Yeah.
Okay, good. At the beginning of the free weight exercise section, I'm going to teach the client how to lift weights, in this case a pair of dumbbells, from a fairly low level, in this case a bench. So that's a good idea to do that at the beginning of the free weight section. So before we start, Paul, I'm going to just show you, I know we've covered it a little bit before, but I'm going to show you how to lift a couple of weights from a low level here in a safe position. So again, we're talking about good posture. So I'll show you first, then let me know if you're happy to try it. I want you to look at my posture here is neutral spine, relaxed shoulders, chin parallel with the floor, and no rotation on the waist. And I'm going to stand as close as I can to the bench, so when I bend my knees I don't hit the bench. And I'm going to bend down, keeping the neutral spine, just leaning forward as much as you have to, but keeping the weights close to you and lifting with the legs rather than bending from the back. So it's literally a lift like that. Just make sure that they're on the bench okay. Like a squat exercise if you've ever done that, but it's trying to keep the weights close to you and keeping the back as neutral as you can, so that whenever you do it your back is kept safe. Are you happy to try it? Okay, so if you could stand just where you are, that's fine, and then feet hip width apart, toes forward, knees are going to go direction of your toes. Good posture, bend the knees, that's it, keep the head up, that's fine. And then lower them down again, bend the knees, trying to maintain that neutral spine, that's really good. See, it's further for you, more difficult for you. So try that again, let's go down, that's it, that's fine. Yeah, so whenever you're lifting weights from a low level, do it that way. Down again, that's good, that's fine, okay. So I'm now going to teach a bicep curl free weight exercise to you, Paul. This is for the biceps, so front of the top of the arm here. And I'll show you first. Again, it's a teaching weight, it's light, but it's about technique for today, and then we'll work on that in future sessions in terms of what weight you want to lift. But I'll show you first, and then just check you're happy to do it once I've shown you. So we stand with feet hip width apart, knees slightly bent, toes pointing forwards, knees pointing the same way as the toes. And we're going to start with the weights that in that position, so straight out in front of you, with the elbow slightly bent. And the movement is slow and controlled. Trying to keep the wrist straight or bent in slightly forward, definitely not bent back. Keeping the body upright and still, trying to maintain that neutral spine. I'm going to show you from the side, just so that you can see, and I'll check you from the side when you do it, that the body is upright and still, and the elbows are still and fixed to the side of the body. Trying to maintain the wrists in a straight position or slightly flexed, and not straightening the arms straight down there, just keep it slightly soft. I'll show you from the front again. So it's a slow and controlled movement all the time. Keep breathing. Again, trying to keep that posture good. Are you happy to try that? Now when I pass the weights to you, what we normally do, we do this thing called your weight, my weight, which sometimes makes people laugh. But if I just show you with one weight first and we get the idea, when I pass the weight to you, I'm going to say your weight. When you're happy to take it, you say my weight. Don't say my weight until you've got it, because I will let it go. Does that make sense? So if I say to you your weight, you say, and I'll say to you your weight. That's good. And you did that right, because you hold the weights underneath. It's important to hold them under as opposed to on the top, because again you could drop them. So we'll learn more about that a bit later. So bicep curl, before we start, good starting position, feet hip width apart, knees just slightly bent, and I'm just going to check your posture from the side. That's really good. And you're keeping your elbows tucked into the waist, and they're going to stay still. Starting position, just have your arms just very slightly bent. That's fine. Chin parallel to the floor, and let's go up to that first position and then down. Keeping the wrists straight or just slightly flexed, and slow and controlled movement. That's really good. Keeping it slow, and then up again. Keeping that speed nice and slow and controlled, and keep your posture good, keep breathing, keep your head up, keep chin parallel with the floor. I'm just going to watch you from the side. That's great. You're still, your elbows are still, your posture's good, you've got your chin parallel with the floor, you're breathing, got your neck in a good position. Feet are good, slightly, bring your heels slightly out for me, brilliant. You've got your knees pointing forwards, they're slightly bent, which is right, and you've got your toes pointing forwards now, that's really good. One more. Again, the teaching weight, it's light for you, but just about technique for today, but you're doing that really well. Okay? Going to pass me, so,
Your weight.
my weight,
Your weight.
my weight, brilliant. You did that really well, you followed instructions, and it's quite hard to not swing the arms around and lose the posture on that, so that was really good. Do you feel you did that okay? Do you think you could do that with less instructions from me next time? Yeah, okay, well done. I'm now going to teach a barbell chest press in the free weight section. So this does require me to support the weight. I'm going to role play with the client being a novice. So there is a danger that the client may drop the weight onto their neck or to their head. So I'm going to be supporting the weight at all times, and I'm going to demonstrate safe passing of the weight between myself and the client. I'm going to demonstrate the exercise first for you. It's a chest press, working the muscles in the chest here and the biceps, triceps, back of the arm here. And we're going to use the barbell and the bench. Now we've got the other little bench at the end there, because these benches for people of different heights can be too high. So for me, I need to put my feet on the bench. Can I ask you just to hold that weight for there? for me, on this particular bench, I need to have my feet up there. If I was to put my feet down there, what it would do is would arch my back here. So this angle of my hip is too low. So I'm going to have to just put them up there. For you, we'll get rid of the bench. It'll be the right height for you. I'm almost certain of that because you're tall. Okay, so that's setting up the bench right for the client. I'll do that for you. And then if I show you the exercise, thank you. When I show you the exercise, I'm going to pass you the bar. You're going to lie down like I was. I'm going to pass you the bar. But for me, I'll just roll down and show you the exercise. Could you stand just here for me, just so you can see me a little bit better? Quite a wide grip on the bar with the thumbs underneath. And the chest press is that. Slow and controlled. Keep breathing.